Hey guys, thanks for coming. So China Underground. Uh, this book I started doing the research for in the summer of 2006. I traveled to China and spent 4 months there, living with a series of kind of colorful and interesting people. Spending anywhere from a couple days to a couple weeks, living with each of them and kind of trying to experience their lives in the fullest manner possible that I could. And I started out with about 30 different people, and some of them kind of fell by the wayside for whatever reason. And in the end, there's 16 kind of different situations that I present in the book, and I'm gonna read a couple of them, little passages from a couple of them. Okay. So this one is called The Slacker, and it's about this guy who doesn't really do much of anything. We'll see. He lives in this kind of really beautiful town in the west of China, and he hangs out. He likes to hang out. Liu Jianfeng has impressive hair. Most of the time, he keeps it hidden under a knit cap, which he only takes off when it's time to comb it, wash himself, or go to sleep. When he takes the cap off, his hair cascades like a waterfall, straight down to his ass. It is jet black, shiny, soft, and smooth. He uses a special wooden comb that is supposed to offer health benefits to the hair and scalp. In a few hours, he'll let a few good-looking female friends take turns brushing his mane, but for now, it's hidden under his trademark cap. Today's is black. Jianfeng is perched in a little nook in the second story of Cafeteria, a cafe where he is part owner. His joint is not really a cafeteria, it's a ramshackle but very comfortable little two-story restaurant in an old house. Binoculars are pressed to his eyes, and he's staring out the window, looking down at the street, checking out the women walking along People's Road in the small town of Dali, which is nestled in the mountains of idyllic Yunnan province. There are a lot of good-looking ladies in this town, and Jianfeng staked out the prime chick-watching spot. Girls who are coming back from swimming in the lake or from buying food at the little market down the street all stroll up this way, back to the center of town, right past this window. Jianfeng has a contented smile on his face, like a cat that's just eaten its last bite of canary. He's singing a popular Chinese love song to himself in a barely audible, sweet falsetto. From time to time, he adjusts the focus wheel on the binoculars or takes a break to smoke a Red River cigarette. It's a lazy day. The mountain air is crisp, and the sun feels warm against my skin. His patience is remarkable. On more than one occasion, I've seen him sit in this little nook for hours, combing the crowd. He looks through his binoculars at migrant workers in worn clothing, at elderly locals dressed in the blue traditional clothes of the Bai people, and at middle school students skipping down the street in blue and white uniforms. These are all extraneous presences in Jianfeng's field of vision, but he is quick to pounce when pretty girls walk by, fiddling with his binoculars and following them up People's Road through his magnified gaze. Jianfeng favors wearing his Levi's so tight that they look like they were spray painted onto his skin. To complement the jeans, he wears equally tight t-shirts that he silk screens himself. The shirt he's wearing today proclaims, in loud capital letters, "War is over if you hemp it," in the red, green, and yellow colors of the Rastafarians. He's wearing black Converse All-Stars, which fell off the truck on the way back from the factory in Guangzhou, and so cost only 45 yuan, instead of the retail price of 300 yuan. Around his neck hangs a massive necklace made up of stones, old coins, shells, and other little trinkets people have given him, reminders of friends he's had and people he's loved. He's also very tall and slim for a Chinese man. Unlike many Chinese, who eat with relish every species in the animal kingdom, the more exotic the better, Liu Jianfeng adheres to a strict vegetarian diet. He credits his svelte physique to his health regimen: no meat, lots of vegetables, and a significant daily dose of grain alcohol. The cumulative effect of his stylish clothes and the ultra-confident way he carries himself combine to form a kind of radioactive sheen of coolness, a mystical aura of kind indifference and individuality that earns Jianfeng the admiration of both men and women. But there is trouble in paradise. Time is running out for Liu Jianfeng. You wouldn't know it by looking at him. His manner could be the dictionary definition of relaxed, but underneath the appealing pose, he's feeling some serious pressure. February 2007 marks the start of the year of the pig. His parents are getting older. Hell, he's getting older. And it's finally time to find a wife and have a child. According to the Chinese zodiac, babies born in the year of the pig are lucky, smart, and clever. It's an auspicious sign. It's a good year to sow his seed. Jianfeng's a serious playboy. He has more girlfriends than anyone else he knows. But he needs to find his soulmate, the one he can spend the rest of his life with, the one who won't nag him to change his ways, the one he loves as much as she loves him. He knows it can take a lifetime to find a soulmate, but he's confident. The one thing he's absolutely certain of is that this chick has to be perfect. He's already been married and divorced once. He chose the wrong girl, made a mistake, and is wary of repeating it. Jianfeng lights a cigarette and furrows his brow. Maybe today will be the day, he says, and then nods to himself and says it again, like a Buddhist mantra or something out of a self-help book. He is 36 years old and looks 10 years younger. So that's one section of one chapter. And I'm going to read another one. Now, and this one is about the Chinese mafia and their exploits. What's the policy with profanity for you guys? For it? Okay. I think we took most of the F words out, but it had happened very quickly. Liu Gong was not feeling terribly well. Everything in the room had begun to spin around, to become suddenly elastic. The walls, the soft leather couch he was sitting on, the naked young girl on his left, the naked young girl on his right, his friend Chen Yong, the naked young girl on Chen's left, the naked young girl on Chen's right, and the massive dish of ketamine powder on the glass table in front of them. The six of them, Liu, Chen, and the four girls, Xiaojias, who worked at the club and were rented out to customers by the hour or the night, had been in this room for 48 hours, drinking Hennessy, taking pills, and snorting ketamine. Liu was strung out, and he needed another hit. Liu muttered something to Chen, who didn't respond. Chen's eyes were open, and his left hand was firmly planted on the breast of one of the naked girls. Liu repeated himself, louder, and shook Chen out of his stupor. "What'd you say?" asked Chen. Liu handed Chen a rolled-up 100-yuan note, and Chen used the knife to carve out 6 gargantuan lines of ketamine on a white porcelain plate. Chen handed the plate back to Liu, who handed it off to the naked girls by his side. After the 4 girls had each hoovered down a line, Chen and Liu polished off the rest. Liu closed his eyes and enjoyed the rush. It felt like he was floating in a warm bath. He smiled as the girls ran their fingers over his torso. He wasn't sure whether he was alive or dead. This was heaven. Liu thought he had just had a profound revelation. He had figured it out. This was paradise. He wanted to tell someone. He wanted to tell his best friend, Chen. Liu tried to stand up, but stumbled and immediately sank back down onto the couch. What had he wanted to tell Chen? What had seemed so important? He couldn't remember, and now he felt like his mind had become detached from his body. What was his name, and who were these girls? He placed his right hand over his heart, but he couldn't feel a heartbeat. He tried again. Nothing. He did feel something else, though. Something hard. Liu pulled the handgun out of his pocket and stared at it with wonder. He started to giggle and couldn't stop. This was amazing. He had a gun in his hands. He needed to tell Chen. "Chen," Liu rasped, "check this out." The words came out in a slurred burst of Dongbei, northeastern dialect. "I've got a gun." On the opposite couch, Chen remained motionless, his eyes closed, his tongue hanging out of his mouth.